Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today I am very excited to share with you the second of the 11 interviews about the Maxwell DNA series. So before we begin, let's ask Anya, who is our guest today, and what is the topic. Anya, who is our guest?
Vielen Dank, Armando. Unser heutiger Gast bei der Maxwell DNA-Serie ist Ezekiel Terrell. Er ist der Präsident von Maxwell Leadership Frankophonie und er wird uns etwas zum Thema Model Consistency, also Beständigkeit vorleben, erzählen. Wir sind gespannt, was er zu sagen hat.
Well, there you have it. Let's get started. Ezekiel, welcome to the podcast. How are you doing?
Hi, thanks, Armando. Very nice being with you today and sharing this time with your audience.
Awesome. Well, I am very excited and grateful that you accepted our invitation to kick off our Maxwell DNA series. For the first one, the first letter of the acronym is M, which stands for model consistency. And my first question for you is, in what way is this value, model consistency, significant to you?
Yeah, so I love this model, this value and this word of consistency, and it's something that for me is important because two of the topics that are really significant for me is leadership, but is also mindset and entrepreneurship. And I think that consistency is a word and is a value that plays in both worlds, right? Consistency is what you need, when you have a strong mindset, is what is going to allow you to go over a failure, over a bad situation. And in order to do that, you need self-leadership. So you need to be able to lead yourself through this period and somehow, force, that passage and to keep you consistent. But also this is going to to be a test also for your leadership with your team, with your organization. You have to be at some point of time the one that is going to inspire the others to be consistent and to keep focus on the vision and how things are going to move forward. So that's it's a value that I love because it links well the leadership and the mindset worlds that I love.
Yeah, so powerful, very, very important. And between the lines, I see some professional aspects of how we apply this value, but also the personal area. So let us begin with the personal, with your personal life, the personal area. How has this value influenced your life, and how do you actively integrate model consistency into your daily routine?
Yeah. Well, I think that the personal life it started many years ago and on the sports area, right? And I'm someone that has been over the years being, more or less consistent or pretty consistent with practicing some kind of a sport in every phase, I would say, of my life. It started when I was really young, and in Spain there were, the government was preparing young athletes for the future, Olympic Games in Barcelona, and at that time, we were like every day we were training different disciplines, and I learned somehow this part of, despite I would say the pain or the fatigue, to keep going, right? To keep going and to be able to finish, to reach the finish line, to cheer with the team, and to really be that person that we can rely on, that I can rely on, right? And that others, the team can rely on. So that's probably the part that even, today I keep applying. And if I think, about this morning, I was, 7 a.m. up in the gym, and my wife was asking me, why are you getting up so early to go to the gym? And I'm like, I don't know. That's what I do, right?
I cannot help it.
and you go there, and you go there, to suffer, right? It's like we're doing spinning, with the bicycle, and we have like these 5 peaks that we need to go, and you are, up on your bike, and the guys, is screaming at you, and you see, the red flames on the bike, and it's like, everything is on fire, but you still go and go and go, and you finish completely exhausted. But that's, that's probably, the power of consistency, right? And at those moments, you could just, abandon, right? But that's not what you do, right? And that's something that I have, I try to pass on my kids and my wife's kids and, everyone around me, right? That's is how can you stay committed to what you know, because is what you have to do, right? That's probably that part in the personal life.
Wow. Yeah, very, 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 very important, because when things are easy, well, everyone can do it, right? But it's when things are hard, tough, that's when it really counts. Well, let us make the transition to your professional life. In what way does this Maxwell value, model consistency, play a role in shaping your decisions?
Yeah. So I think that, we probably have a broad audience, right? People that are maybe studying, people that are starting their career, the middle of their career. Some of them are, entrepreneurs, etc. And I've been in all those stages, right? And I think that when things were not easy, right, is when you need to take that decision to keep going on, right? When I was, I remember when I started my engineering degree, right? And the first year was a catastrophe for me. I was coming from a history of having, very good degrees. And the first year of engineering was a disaster. And a lot of people just abandoned, right, at that time. And I had to decide what I wanted to do. And I decided to stay committed and to learn what were the rules of the game, and to be able to go, through all the years, get my degree and so on. And I think, over the years, it was in the different stages of my professional life. I think that one of the things that has, helped me take decisions is having a vision and staying, true to that vision, right? And saying, okay, not really abandoning the vision because there were, some difficulties, but rather asking myself, how can I? Right. And by asking myself, how can I, it also helps, modeling that consistency to others, right? Because then it's like, okay, you are leader of yourself, but you are also leader of others. So if the others see that you are asking yourself, how can you, right? How can you do that better next time? This also helps the others getting into that mood, right? And into that direction. So you can help them as their leader. At that time they look at you, so that you are their leader, and it helps, them to stay in the same mood and with the same consistency in the same direction.
Yeah, it's important. So important. I mean, we did the same interview in Spanish, and I remember you mentioned some tough times that you experienced along your career, and specifically the International Maxwell Conference, right? As you were developing that, how has this value helped you reach success and growth? Can you share some of that with us, please?
Yeah, sure. It's personal and professional. We are in this Maxwell family, right? It doesn't feel like work, but it's a lot of work.
Right.
I think that, coming from the corporate space, I used to work for companies like Oracle, Microsoft, Nortel Networks. So I always had, like, I was used to have these, high goals and high standards, and then we come into the entrepreneurial world and we start developing this platform, and the pandemic comes, and you have like two ways of doing things. You could just run and try to do things big and fast, and just, in one area, maybe in one country or two countries, or you can try to stick to the vision and the mission, which is develop Maxwell leadership in the whole Francophonie, right? All the French-speaking countries, which means working with different cultures, different rhythms, different ways of seeing things. And I think that, one of the areas where I have had to apply this consistency and this, staying, aligned with the vision was that, right? This was when we were not growing as we thought, and as we wanted, and I would have been tempted to do things otherwise. Just stay to the vision, right? Stick to the vision and stay true to that, and keep working with the team as it was, and keep growing, and to the point that, again, some of the team members were dreaming of an IMC in Francophonie in Paris, or other places in Francophonie for many years. They were founding members of the John Maxwell team in 2011. And that happened last year, 2022, when we had our first IMC in Paris. John was there, and really it meant this dream become true, like 11 years after, right? So I think that 11 years is a reasonable period to say the consistency was shown, was demonstrated, and was present in the team.
Yeah, it paid off, no, to be consistent and to be resilient and to keep fighting. Well, you are certainly an inspiration to all of us, because, as you know, we are trying to do that same thing in the German-speaking world, and so you are certainly a huge inspiration for all of us. If there is one lesson, we're coming to the end of our interview, but two more questions. I mean, if there is one lesson you can, out of the many lessons, I assume, if you can share with us one main lesson out of this whole process, what would that be?
So I like a lesson that Jeff Henderson gave when he interviewed. He was in part of the Live to Lead as a speaker, and he said that consistency is what allows you to get to the finish line. Right, there are many things, vision, intuition. There are many things that allow you to start, right, and to go to the start line. But what helps you go to the finish line is consistency, and that's it really marked my mind, because it was, again, there are times where you say, like, okay, let's just forget that and change gears, right? And it's like, what is the vision? Right, think about what is a vision, and then keep the direction to that vision. And sometimes as a leader, you take decisions, and with hopefully with the input of your team, and you decide on something. Then you expect alignment from the team, and we all go together into one direction. And maybe 6 months, 12 months later, we realize it was not the good decision. Right, and then we need to, the leader then needs to be, vulnerable enough, and open enough, and honest enough to just, plainly state the fact that, this was not the right decision, right? What should we do now, right? And then again, being with the inner circle, and taking, another decision, and moving forward, and that's, that process also allows, to create trust, amongst the team, and also allows to have the team, I would say, committed to that consistency over time to get to the vision, and try to reach it, even if there were a set of decisions that were not the right ones. But you can create that process of trust, and work together in alignment, and moving forward, and being consistent with the vision as a team.
Wow, very powerful, very powerful. The ability to pick up the pieces and keep moving forward. No, wow. Well, thank you, Ezequiel. Thank you very much. But before we leave, I'm going to give you the last word, and maybe you can encourage the viewers, those who are watching right now, that maybe some of them are already coaches, or are thinking about becoming a coach. And of course, as I mentioned before, we're trying to develop that platform, the John Maxwell platform, in the German-speaking world. If you have if you could have a word of encouragement for all of them, what would that be?
Well, I think that it's more than a word of encouragement. It's just an interrogation to them. It's a question I would like to ask them, right? And it's a question I ask every time I have someone that asks if that they would like to join the Maxwell Leadership, and they ask what is this Maxwell Leadership Francophonie going to add to my I'm already a coach, or I'm already a trainer, or a speaker, or I'm already a leader. So why should I join, right? What is that, what is this going to add to me? And my question to them is not about what is going to add to you, is what are you going to add to it, you know, and what makes you think that you are going to be a good citizen of this Maxwell leadership community, right? And the fact that we are not, you know, we are 50,000 members around the world, and we will be in the next years 100,000. And John has crazy plans, you know, to grow, and that's fantastic. But we are not looking at having, you know, anyone at any price. We are looking really for entrepreneurs and for leaders that have a very clear vision, you know, that they feel in their heart that they are aligned with this philosophy of people-centric, values-based servant leadership, right? And that's really, really important. So if you are this kind of entrepreneur, this kind of leader that feel aligned with it, this is your place, right? I was already a coach, you know, when I joined Maxwell, I had 2 coaching certifications. So it's not about being a coach or not being a coach, being already a trainer or a leader or not. It's about coming to an environment where, yes, I will have access to, you know, all those methods, you know, the Maxwell method of coaching, leadership, speaking, sales, right, that are proven methods, right? More than 50,000 leaders and entrepreneurs around the world use them. So that's clear. You know, John teaches them all, you know, all over the place every year. So they work, right? It's not about the content, because that's kind of a given, you know, that's John's intellectual property, right? That's the hard work. That's the base, you know, of what we offer, right? Is all this content ready to use that you can really take and run with it, right? And create transformation on the people around you. Right. Is the third part of this, you know, the third component of this is like a table with three legs. You know, legs, and so one is the methodology. Second one is the content. The third one is the community, and is the, you know, the accountability you are going to find, the camaraderie you are going to find, you know, a place where, you know, you can come and you can share victories, you can share failures. When you are high, you can add value to others, and when you are in a low, you can borrow, you know, other people's belief in your potential and your vision and your mission that maybe you lack at some point of time, right? That's really, you know, what is the richness, I would say, of this community. So if this person that is, you know, if you are listening to us and if you feel that, you know, that this kind of community is a community for you, then that's the right place for you. And I would encourage you to reach out to Armando or the team and think about joining our Maxwell leadership environment.
Beautiful. I can testify to that. I was last month in France, and I came back home. I felt like I was floating. So yeah, I can testify to that. Yeah. Well, Ezekiel, thank you very much. I'm going to include Ezekiel's contact information, LinkedIn, and that's your main avenue of contact,
LinkedIn,
right?
Yeah, and Facebook, Instagram, whatever, you know, people want to. But yeah, LinkedIn is a good platform, and you know, you can put my email as well. You know, anytime you have any questions, whatever you need, I'm of course, you know, friend of Armando is a friend of mine. So just
beautiful. So I'm going to include, yeah, that's right. And thank you very much. I'm going to include that in the description box, and also James Newell, who is leading the project in the German-speaking world. If you want to find out more about the project and more about what we are doing, get in touch with us. Ezekiel, a big hug like we do in Spain and in Mexico and, you know, in many other places of the world, in France as well, right?
Yeah. And the Maxwell Leadership family, when people come to the IMCs, to the events, they will say, we hug each other.
We hug each other. Yeah, that's right. Well, until next time, next we'll be back with the next letter of the acronym, the letter A. If you want to find out what that is, we'll see you in a couple of days. Ezekiel, have a good one, everyone. Bye-bye.
Take care. Cheers.